we should catch them young. NextGen targets preteens and teenagers between the ages of 7 and 17. It is a virtual training program that unlocks creativity and innovation by helping preteens and teenagers explore the most in-demand tech skills like JavaScript, Python, graphics design, and so much more.
While we work to build tech careers, we also support and empower entrepreneurs in this space. Hi, my name is Olumide Onokoya, and I'm a ventures partner for Startup Engine at Bulb Africa. Startup Engine is an initiative to support, incubate, and accelerate founders and entrepreneurs in the tech space. So my job is to source and incubate the best ideas, looking to solve some of Africa's most pressing needs. Through our accelerator, we help startups scale by defining and building of their initial product, identifying customer segments and target markets, as well as secure resources. To support these two programs, we invest in these startups through our investment vehicle, Illuminate. Over the past few years, we have supported, incubated, and accelerated startups such as Settle, Truck, Choice Cruncher, and many more. These companies make up the Bulb Africa startup ecosystem.
Now that you know what we do, we'd appreciate if you partner with us. My name is Mobolo Ajibelo, a business development executive at the Bulb Africa, and I oversee partnerships. How can you partner with the Bulb Africa? 1. You could join our communities.
We are aware of the positive impact communities can have on the tech ecosystem. We believe that learning and growth should be consistent, and that is what our communities are all about. An open space for tech talents and entrepreneurs to collaborate, share ideas, and encourage innovation.
For women in tech, you can join our TechJo community. Can you believe that female participation in tech is less than 30% according to Deloitte Global? We believe inclusion can drive growth in every sector, and tech is not an exception. TechJo is a non-profit that encourages girls and young ladies to get involved in technology as a means of economic emancipation and an opportunity to compete on a global stage.
If there are ladies out there interested in tech, you can visit our website to join TechJo. While you are there, feel free to explore other communities created by everyday people in tech.
For organizations who are looking to partner with us, there are several ways to do this. Join other organizations that have partnered with us through our internship initiative. This partnership gives you access to our fellowship alumni for free internship. Oh wow!
With the talent scarcity we currently face on the continent, plus the competition for our local talent globally, finding the right tech talent is a major concern for HR and management. The Bulb Africa takes that burden off you by learning your organization's needs and matching you with the right candidates.
From everything you've heard today, it is clear that we need to educate and create opportunities. As a social enterprise, we are always looking to partner with organizations who still take corporate social responsibility as a priority.
Shining the light on African ingenuity, creating a ladder of opportunities through empowerment, and connecting innovation to global opportunity are the reasons we've created this platform. We certainly will be glad to have you join us on this journey.
We are grateful to have a team that is fully committed to putting in the work that it takes to exceed expectations.
We hope you have enjoyed learning about the Bulb Africa, and we thank you for showing interest in our organization.
Are you ready? Yes. Okay. So let me see the beginning of the slide. I know that there are emotion. You viewed my LinkedIn. I remember this face. You viewed my LinkedIn. Yes. Ah. Yeah, she was upstairs. Anyways. Oh, no worry. Not as bad. My song. Oh, gosh. And I hear you people sing it.
Okay, Lillian is here. Okay, okay.
The slides. Where are the slides?
No, she has to. She has to. She has to use. She has to.
Oh, she needs that the team that the big.
Oh, share screen now, right?
And you see now, I will not beautifully not be seen.
Who's the like the documentary? Yes. Where's the slide? Yeah.
Hi there, my name is Wande Adams. I lead the team at the Bob Africa. The headlines and the issues you've seen or heard around unemployment opportunities, and immigration are true. The talent scarcity and gap in Africa is a huge problem and needs to be addressed if we expect this continent to grow and meet its potential. However, is immigration really the issue, or is it lack of opportunities? Let's bring it back home. Nigeria is home to approximately 200 million people, blessed with a very young population. The average age is 18. Unfortunately, the National Bureau of Statistics reported our unemployment to be 33.3%. To put that in perspective, 1 in every 3 Nigerians eligible for work are unemployed, with most unemployed citizens falling in the active 18 to 35 age group. So what can be done? According to the World Economic Forum, 15 to 20 million young people will join the African workforce every year for the next 2 decades. By 2030, Africa is said to be home to more than a quarter of the world's population under 25, who will make up 60% of the continent's total population. By then, 15% of the world's working population will be in Africa, and the continent's urbanized population will exceed 700 million. While the rest of the world will be getting older, Africa's youth population will experience a massive boom, giving it an opportunity to catch up, quite possibly surpass the rest of the world. But for this to happen, the right seeds must be planted now. A firm foundation must be laid to establish a sustainable talent pipeline to meet future skills needs. The proper training, career opportunities, and resources must be set for Africa to enter a new phase powered by technology. And that's exactly why we set up the Bulb Africa. The Bulb Africa is a talent incubator with a vision to be Africa's leading tech platform that connects innovation to global opportunities.
Our mission is to inspire and empower the next generation of tech experts and innovators to help them build transferable and transportable skill sets for the fast-changing global workspace. We create employment opportunities for those interested in a career in technology through the Bulb Institute and its internship program, as well as our recruitment and outsourcing services, which we manage through our flagship product, Face Africa. Through the Institute, we provide tech education with the fellowship program, Career Advance, Startup Academy, and NextGen. The fellowship program targets those who are interested in kickstarting a career in technology. It is a 4 to 6 months hands-on training that equips and empowers young Africans with skills to launch successful careers in software engineering. We train software developers, DevOps engineers, quality assurance engineers, data scientists, and product designers. With Career Advance, we provide individuals looking to upskill themselves as well as businesses and organizations seeking to train their staff with extensive professional training. We offer courses in blockchain, cloud engineering, business analysis, and so much more. Startup Academy targets tech founders. We equip these founders and budding entrepreneurs with the knowledge and experience required to navigate the tasks of building a valuable company. Finally, as a talent platform, we believe that we should catch them young. NextGen targets preteens and teenagers between the ages of 7 and 17. It is a virtual training program that unlocks creativity and innovation by helping preteens and teenagers explore the most in-demand tech skills like JavaScript, Python, graphics design, and so much more.
While we work to build tech careers, we also support and empower entrepreneurs in this space. Hi, my name is Olumide Onokoya, and I'm a ventures partner for Startup Engine at Bulb Africa. Startup Engine is an initiative to support, incubate, and accelerate founders and entrepreneurs in the tech space. So my job is to source and incubate the best ideas, looking to solve some of Africa's most pressing needs. Through our accelerator, we help startups scale by defining and building of their initial product, identifying customer segments and target markets, as well as secure resources. To support these 2 programs, we invest in these startups through our investment vehicle, Illuminate. Over the past few years, we have supported, incubated, and accelerated startups such as Settle, Truck, Choice Cruncher, and many more. These companies make up the Bulb Africa startup ecosystem.
Now that you know what we do, we'd appreciate if you partner with us. My name is Mobolo Ajibelo, a business development executive at the Bulb Africa, and I oversee partnerships. How can you partner with the Bulb Africa? 1, you could join our community.
Good morning, everyone. My sincere apologies for starting this very late. We are behind schedule by an hour. Apologies. This was largely due to some technical issues. I really, really want to plead for your pardon. No intentional. We really value your time. So let's just head in immediately. I am Lillian Ugo. Let me not sound like a foreigner. I am Lillian Ugo, and I happen to be the head of people and culture at the Bob Africa. So I welcome you to today's talk titled Navigating the Tech Job Market. I don't know how many of us here who were available when our partner, the partner of the Bob, Mr. Tosi Osukoya, I don't know who were available for his the two presentations he had before now. The first being leadership, where he introduced us to the knowledge of having the right mindset, is the bedrock of every successful leader. And then he went further to introducing us, or what would I say, our appetite, whetting our appetite to financial independence, on, how you can play in the corridors of wealth. So the question I would normally ask is, having known all of this, how do I now start making the rubber? How do I start making this money? And that's why we are here today, to help navigate around this tech job market. It's expected that everyone on this call is a tech enthusiast. You have one or two reasons to want to be in the tech industry. And sometimes, a lot of the times, really, beyond just the tech jobs, a lot of persons find it difficult to hit the right jobs because of reasons they're not aware of. And also going to throw more lights on all of those things. So I would always ask for my audience, so stay tuned. I promise that the next hour and a half will not be a waste. You will go back with something tangible and something you can actually use immediately. So yeah, welcome. Welcome to today's presentation titled Navigating the Tech Job Market. Once again, we will be looking around interview processes and career sustainability. So when we talk about the tech job market, what exactly are we talking about? The tech job, a layman will quickly say, oh, the tech job involves all the career path within the tech industry. The software engineers, the data scientists, a lot of all of those, roles make up this tech market. Now, the tech jobs then is what we're looking at. How do I go around these things? Some of the skills we imbibe on our students, our fellows in the Bob Africa, come in handy here. How do you then hit the jobs? When you're finished training here with us, how do you get to hit the right jobs? The tech job industry has come a long way and is still evolving, is dynamic, has come a long way. A lot of persons, I remember when I did my particular course, and for the first time, I learned about reverse mentoring. I always knew that mentoring has to do with someone who is well-informed, mentoring someone who is new in the field. But for the tech world is the reverse, where the new guys, the young talents, are the ones who are going to be educating the older guys to tell them, see, this is how it's done now. So that tech market we're talking about, has attracted a lot of demand. Before now, thanks to COVID, apologies, I'm not going to be taking for granted people who lost their lives during that era. But again, COVID opened the eyes of a lot of employers to know that people can actually work remotely. And that opened the market for the tech world. A lot of people who will tell us that, in Nigeria here, but I work for 2 or 3 companies abroad. So this tech market job market has exploded. It's on high demand, and I mean it's both for startup companies, both for the big tech companies. A lot of people are seeking for this talent. So now, how do you then get yourself involved? Is where we're getting to. Um, Now, understanding this tech job market. The tech job market has grown in demand, and it has also expanded. It's expanded in the sense that every industry is now seeking for a form of digitalization, and it also has expanded the need for this talent across all of these industries. We know that before now, people will quickly say, "Oh, software engineers are needed more, mostly in the banking industry, some worth, well, other industries, yeah." But in recent times, we've seen hospitals demanding for such tech talent. We've seen even food vendors, right, seeking for such tech talent. So the thing is, it's vast now, right? It has grown in demand. It has grown rapidly in demand. And then the jobs as well, they're evolving. They keep evolving. The jobs in this sector keeps evolving. In this same, I've mentioned earlier that this tech job market has also increased the inclusion, right? So it's no longer to say that I can only get a job within the location where I live. Say, for instance, I live in America and that's where I can get a job. Now it has evolved. And I remember a young talent I met 2 years ago, and I was asking him, why do you want to live in Ilorin? Why Ilorin? He said, I just want somewhere quiet and do my work. A 21-year-old guy. I just want someone to do my work. I'm like, what kind of work are you doing there? And I mean, when they told me, I was amazed. This guy he's into a lot of things. And one of his pet projects, or one of his favorite things he loves to do, is to tell stories. And he has something he does for CNN Sports. He has something he does for another company. I've forgotten the name, but this is something he does on the side. So it's wonderful to know that this tech job market has gone beyond the usual market where we see it in particular locations. You can actually be anywhere and still function effectively. Now, as I said, the roles have evolved as well, and that the demand for it as well. The market where it operates, I talked about it earlier, is beyond just the normal industries where we expect them to be needed. They are now needed in other industries. So I'll just head straight. As I said, we're trying to manage time and realizing the fact that we did not start on time. We wouldn't want to waste any more of your time. We're just going to, go straight into it. Preparing for the job hunt. So we listed is a whole lot. So permit us, because we want to really be extensive in this presentation, and that is why it's almost as if some of these things could have emerged, but we want you to understand it in itself. So the first thing there is self-assessment. Now, you have to identify your skill. What skill am I bringing forward? Because, okay, I'll use myself again. My background is administration. My background is human resource. Now, I understand my skill. I understand what I'm bringing to the table. It wouldn't make sense. I've not assessed myself, and I'll now go. I want to apply for a job in, say, programming or software development. I have nothing to offer there. So why am I there? So it's important that before you apply for any job, assess yourself, assess what you're bringing to the table in that company, assess the skill you have and the relevance of your skill to that role that you're about to apply. So it's important that you assess. Assessing yourself even beyond it can even have. Okay, I know of somebody again who got a job for a company in India, but because he's already working for a company in London, he had a problem with timing. So the job was lucrative, but he wasn't about to lose the job in London. So assess yourself also on the availability you have. I mean, so for me, it would take a lot for me to work. They tell me to work on the island. So those are also self-assessments. You're assessing your availability to do their job. You're assessing your competence to do their job. So assess yourself properly. And then in updating your CV, now this is very interesting. A lot of times you have people who would apply for a particular role and they will use that same CV all through every other role they want to apply in. It is important to constantly update your CV. It's important again that whilst updating your CV, if you're going to be, I guess I will have a place to talk about that, but let me just hint it. Some companies make use of ATS, and that enables them, especially when they're going to be assessing a lot of CVs, a lot of resume, they will just use that application that helps them sort out people who fits into the job description. Now, if your CV, however prepared, does not have one or two things that that exist in the JD that has already been published, you may not be called, even though you could be the right candidate for the job. That is why it's important you keep updating your CV to ensure that it is relevant to the job description that has been set, or that you saw the advert in the advert, how you saw the advert. Ensure that the job description, at least your CV is updated to that job description. And then when we talk about optimizing your LinkedIn profile, I know it's not new to anybody on this call about LinkedIn. If you do not have one, if you're not there yet, please try and get in. It is important. Okay, I remember again something that happened very recently. When I was looking for a job, and a job opportunity was sent across, looking at my profile, sent to me, and then for some reasons I was not available to look at my, because I was just very busy and all that. And by the time I got back to, I was idle. I was not doing anything again. I just let him just go to my LinkedIn, just see what's happening there. I had two people call me up, and even one of them went as far as sending the address. I should please come in on Friday. And this was, I had updated my LinkedIn page 2 weeks before then. So it had been 2 weeks I last visited my LinkedIn page. And when I reached out to the lady to say, please, apologies, I just saw this, and she's like, sorry, we got to the next, we have given the offer to someone else. So aside just optimizing your LinkedIn page, you have to be intentional about your search for a good job. You have, once you're there, keep updating information, keep if you have any content that you think speaks to your role, speaks to your person, you can keep posting it on it. Get yourself up there. Let it be visible, be very visible and all. And then while you're preparing for this, there was a time we were interviewing for a particular role in the board, and when I saw the CV of the young man, he was later employed here anyways. When I saw his CV, and you're interviewing for a role that has to do with videos and all that, I need to see what you've done. And I felt I was asking a new question. So can I see your portfolio? Can I see what you've done? And simply just click on that link. And how embarrassed I was. I clicked, and then it was all there. All that he has done was just there. So whilst you're preparing for this journey to get a good job, whatever it is you have done, put them together. Put whatever it is you have done together. I mean, I know you're knowledgeable of where these things can be, how you can do it better. So put them together, and so that it can be readily available for whoever it is that wants to know what you have done and your substance can easily do that without having to take permission from you. So portfolio preparation is very, very important, because whatever it is you're doing, it's not like me now tell you stories, right? As a HR person, I give stories. What you're applying for, the job, the industry you're in or you want to get into requires physical, they want to see what you can do, not the talk, right? That's what differentiates you from someone like me. They want to see what you have done. They want to see your work. What have you done before in the past? You don't need to give too much details, but at least you can link you to something very relevant or that speaks to the kind of talent they need in their workplace. So it's important to get your portfolios put together in a readily available manner. And then preparing for the technical interviews is also one one part of it. I will still speak to this interview part in my later slides, but how you're in the journey of getting yourself ready for a good job hunting, you also have to be prepared for the technical interviews as they would come. Now, staying current on the industry trends, it is important to read. You are not a custodian of knowledge. You have to keep studying, reading up things, going for workshops, seminars, webinars, whatever it is. Stay current industry trend on industry trend is very important, because if you're caught up in any interview and then somebody who is going to be one of the interviewers are very, very I know I've gone for an interview where I was asked part of my hobbies, and I said I love to read. And the person interviewed me then. I said, "What book did you read last?" And so I actually read a book a week before, but I didn't know how to present that book because I forgot the name, right? And I was just stuttering, and I couldn't
communities.
We are aware of the positive impact communities can have on the tech ecosystem. We believe that learning and growth should be consistent, and that is what our communities are all about. An open space for tech talents and entrepreneurs to collaborate, share ideas, and encourage innovation.
For women in tech, you can join our Tech Joe community. Can you believe that female participation in tech is less than 30% according to Deloitte Global? We believe inclusion can drive growth in every sector, and tech is not an exception. Tech Joe is a non-profit that encourages girls and young ladies to get involved in technology as a means of economic emancipation.
That we need to educate and create opportunities. As a social enterprise, we are always looking to partner with organizations who still take corporate social responsibility as a priority.
Shining the light on African ingenuity, creating a ladder of opportunities through empowerment, and connecting innovation to global opportunity are the reasons we've created this platform. We certainly will be glad to have you join us on this journey.
We are grateful to have a team that is fully committed to putting in the work that it takes to exceed expectations.
We hope you have enjoyed learning about the Bob Africa, and we thank you for showing interest in our organization.
Yes. And can you please share the screen? Wait, I need to share the screen.
Hi there, my name is Wande Adams. I lead the team at the Bob Africa. The headlines and the issues you've seen or heard around unemployment, opportunities, and immigration are true. The talent scarcity and gap in Africa is a huge problem and needs to be addressed if we expect this continent to grow and meet its potential. However, is immigration really the issue, or is it lack of opportunities? Let's bring it back home. Nigeria is home to approximately 200 million people, blessed with a very young population. The average age is 18. Unfortunately, the National Bureau of Statistics reported our unemployment to be 33.3%. To put that in perspective, 1 in every 3 Nigerians eligible for work are unemployed, with most unemployed citizens falling in the active 18 to 35 age group. So what can be done? According to the World Economic Forum, 15 to 20 million young people will join the African workforce every year for the next 2 decades. By 2030, Africa is said to be home to more than a quarter of the world's population under 25, who will make up 60% of the continent's total population. By then, 15% of the world's working population will be in Africa, and the continent's urbanized population will exceed 700 million, while the rest of the world will be
Hello, everyone. Apologies. We realized another something happened. I don't know. You tech guys, tell me what happened. I was cut off and I didn't realize I was already talking. I don't know. Can someone please tell me, confirm this roadmap? At what point did you stop hearing me? So I'll know where to continue. Please, someone should help me out. Where did you stop hearing so that I can quickly slide in there and continue? Should I just go ahead? Is someone saying something? Nobody said that.
When you talked about improving LinkedIn,
Improving LinkedIn, that would be 4. Wow. Okay. All right. So I'll just speak through it. I spoke extensively earlier and not knowing that I was cut off. So I talked about portfolio preparation. So I tried comparing what I do in HR to what is expected of you seeking for tech jobs. So what you're seeking for needs you to be practical. They need to see what you have done before and to see if you're going to fit into what they want to do now. Unlike the HR, I mean, I will always talk through what I do. But for you, you would have to show practical. If you tell you, if you say you are into programming, they want to see what you've written before, right? So all of those things, you need to put them together, you know, in a format that you can easily click on it. And I try giving instance of me looking for someone who is into video editing and all of that. And then when I was asking him to show me what he has done, he just told me, please click. I should click on the link on the resume. And then when I clicked, wow, to see all of his work, what he has done. So you have to put your portfolio together so that once you're asked for it, you're readily available in a manner that you want to be properly presented. And then we talked about targeting the right job, ensuring that the kind of job you're I don't want to have to I missed it. Okay, prepare for the technical interviews. The interviews that I'll discuss extensively on this in another slide, but also prepare for interviews. Remember, we're talking about how to prepare for this job hunt, and we started from self-assessment, updating resume, optimizing LinkedIn page and profile, portfolio preparation, and then preparing for the technical interview. The next will be stay current on industry trend. And I try to give instances on things that you have known before that need to update your knowledge on. And I gave the instance of where I was talking about something about Amazon and I was corrected that no, that has changed. And I thought I was up to date. And then I was told that there's something that I needed to talk about. So, excuse me, please, I want to confirm that someone is hearing me and understands what I'm saying so that I don't just speak to myself. I would want to stop here now to be sure that I'm communicating. I want to stop here. Please, can anyone please just type in the chat box to say you're hearing me? If you're not understanding what I'm saying, so I can stop and actually ensure that you enjoy the next 2 hours and not just wasting your time. Okay, so I have a confirmation. Who's that? Eniola, thank you so much. I have the confirmation that you can hear me, so I can go ahead. Thank you. And the next was networking. I spoke about networking. So the part of networking is very important. And I gave the instance of where I was looking for a HR lead. And as I said, as a HR person, I love referrals. I love, to meet people and then ask them for any role I want to fill. I'm more relaxed with that. That's not to say I don't also, search out, but I always want to refer. I always want people to refer people to me. And whilst I was looking for a HR lead, I spoke out, and then someone said, "Oh, I met someone over the weekend who has requested that he's out of job and he needed another job." And voila, I told them to bring him up. Let's meet with him, and thankfully he's here with us. So I'm talking about network, being in the right place at the right time, going for meetings, meetups, conferences, Okay. Just hold on a bit. I've just been told that my camera is off. Is it on now? Okay, thank you. And just then going for conferences, going for webinars, virtual or in person, connect with people in the industry, seek for people to be your mentors, just be in that network, that space. You can't miss it. It can't be overemphasized. It's very important. And then I spoke about targeting the right jobs. And I gave instance using myself on how to go for the job be intentional about the kind of job you want, that will speak to your values and what you think that works for you. And I gave the instance of where from the industry I'm coming from, I was invited to an interview, to be in an interview panel over a weekend, and it was for a tech talent. And then when I listened to all the terminologies and everything they were saying, I felt lost. And I told myself, I want to be in that industry. And I noticed they're all set of young guys, unlike what I've been used to. And I said I needed to meet a new generation of talents. And so I was very intentional when I was looking for my own job. And then thankfully I hit, this kind of job. So it's important that while you're looking for and then when you're applying for a job, it is not all jobs that you'll be 100% fit for. Honestly, when you look at the profile of the job or the JD presented in any job search anything you went through, and you'll be like, oh, I don't have that. See, if you're 70% good, go ahead and apply. Just go ahead and apply. I can tell you for free. We could be seeking to get a head of finance, take for instance, and while we are going through the interview, realize that everybody who has applied for that particular role is somewhat, sorry, I hope I'm not distracting anybody. Am I still visible? Okay. Am I still on? Okay. Yeah. So where did I stop? I'm still talking about hitting the right job, if I'm not mistaken. Right? So sometimes, so I was using the head of finance, for instance, and then everybody who had applied for the job, we realized while the interview was going on that there were the kind of crowds they have managed, managing also be too much for them. And then there was a young fellow who just applied. Yeah, he applied. Well, we're looking for head, but he knew he wasn't the head. He has never headed a team or led a team. But he then applied. And just because he applied and his CV looked like what we wanted, he was called up, right? So you may not be 100%, but if you're even 70%, go ahead and apply. Take a chance at it, especially if it's the kind of job you want. Take a chance at it and apply. Okay? So we talk about practicing your pitch. So a lot of things happen during the interview. You are not in my mind as an interviewer on what kind of thing I'm looking out for. So if we are three in an interview, I'm just giving you a hint. We're three in an interview. We have shared what competencies we're looking out for. So take, for instance, we are hiring somebody who is a software developer. We have on the interview panel somebody who is a technical person who knows that software very well. There's no way you're going to go around it. He won't get you. We're not looking at somebody who understands the tech industry generally. It mustn't just be on software alone. And then you have somebody who is now
planted now. A firm foundation must be laid to establish a sustainable talent pipeline to meet future skills needs. The proper training, career opportunities, and resources must be set for Africa to enter a new phase powered by technology. And that's exactly why we set up the Bulb Africa.
Okay. All right. So, breaking thought, practicing your pitch. I think that's where I stopped.
The Bulb Africa is a talent incubator with a vision to be Africa's leading tech platform that connects innovation to global opportunities.
You and me, can we can your values
Our
align
mission
with
is
our
to
values?
inspire and
Right. So
empower
when
the
you're in an
next
interview,
generation of
any
tech
opportunity,
experts and
any question
innovators
thrown at
to
you,
help them build transferable
shine.
and transportable
I
skill
could
sets for the
ask you a
fast-changing
question that
global
has to do with
workspace.
so what kind of
We
management
create employment
style
opportunities for
pleases you?
those
Or
interested
what kind
in
of
a
management
career
style do you
in
work with?
technology through the Bulb Institute
Now,
and its internship
I could be looking
program,
for someone who
as well as our recruitment
can
and
work as a
outsourcing
team.
services, which we manage through our
Not
flagship
someone who
product,
wants to be on
Face
his own,
Africa.
on her own and do
Through
his
the
thing and do her
institutes,
thing. And there's
we
someone like,
provide
I don't
tech
like to be
education with
micromanaged.
the
I don't want
fellowship
someone to be
program,
looking to,
Career
all of those things I'm
Advance,
picking
Startup
out. I'm
Academy,
like,
and Next
okay,
Gen.
this one, okay, right? We're taking
The
notes.
fellowship program
So
targets
whatever
those who are
opportunity you
interested
have,
in
practice
kickstarting
your
a
pitch
career
very well.
in
Before
technology.
your friends, your
It is a
colleagues,
4 to 6
before your
months
mirror in
hands-on
the
training
bathroom,
that equips
practice
and
all the
empowers
things you're
young
going to.
Africans with
How
skills
relevant? How are you going
to
to add
launch
value to
successful
that
careers
company?
in software
Ensure that
engineering.
you're
We
speaking
train
it very
software
clearly. You're not
developers,
mumbling it behind
DevOps
anything.
engineers,
You're very
quality
vocal
assurance
on how
engineers,
you're
data
going to,
scientists, and
add
product
value to that
designers.
company.
With
Now,
Career
if you're wondering
Advance, we
how you're going
provide
to do it,
individuals looking
as
to
I said,
upskill
practice before
themselves
your
as well
friends,
as
your
businesses
colleagues,
and
before your mirror,
organizations
in
seeking
the
to
bathroom. Just practice it and make sure they're very vocal when it comes to, what value you're going to add to that company. And I also mentioned preparing application materials. So for some people, they'll tell you the company didn't tell me to send a cover note. I don't need a cover letter. I don't need to send. Well, I would advise you to send because it kind of summarizes the interview. Some people can find it for me, I love to read it because I have read one that I gave feedback immediately. Sorry, apologies. Now, he was applying for a security coordinator. And because he has used that cover letter for so many roles, the heading is application for the role of a security coordinator. Now, inside the cover letter, he was speaking of himself as an IT support person. It wasn't aligning. I was like, where are you going to? Where are you coming from? And I quickly gave a feedback mail to say, go through what you're sending very well. Because for me to have looked at your cover letter, you just lost opportunity. But I'm moved on, but I just felt I should give him that feedback so that it will help, because some people say, I've been applying, there's no job out there. It could just be you spoiling your chance, right? So you have to be very careful how you package your application materials. Just as I've said, your cover letter is interesting. I always love to read it because I mean, some of the questions I want to ask you from your interview could come from a cover letter. So I always want to see an interesting cover letter. But if you don't send one, no problem. Your CV, whatever it is you're preparing to send out, ensure and then it's also advised that because we're looking for these jobs, we apply for 6, 7, 8, 10 jobs that are relevant, right? And then so as not to mix tracks, because you can apply for a job and this job is saying HR lead, you applied. This one is saying HR manager, you applied. This one, as you've applied, you may not, when you're called for one, you'll be speaking of HR lead. Meanwhile, what you applied for there is HR manager. Just to be on track, it's advised to have a spreadsheet where you itemize all these things: the name of the role, the company, the salary expectation you have. Because some companies send application forms where you fill out some details, and some of the details you fill there is salary expectation. So as not to miss out on what you have sent before, being consistent and all that, you put in an Excel sheet. If you can remember everything, good for you, thumbs up. But if you can't, it's expected you put in an Excel sheet or a spreadsheet where you can see it readily. And so you will not be like someone that is not coordinated, right? We're trying to get this job. Okay. Then we'll talk about I think I don't know, this should be the place I stopped. Leveraging on recruiters. Now, as we said about networking, if you can, I mean, as a HR person, I see people, boss me, LinkedIn, if they come across, I mean, if I'm any WhatsApp group I'm in, and then someone is coming to say, oh, please, I need advice on this. It's never, it can never be overemphasized. Reach out, go there, knock their doors. I remember when I was looking for this job, right? I had to apply for premium because I really wanted to get into their space. So, if it's for a month, be intentional about it. You want this job, right? So don't just be on the passing. Be intentional about it. So you can leverage on recruiters, reaching out to them, reaching out to applying to all these outsourcing firms or recruitment firms. Apply, just drop your CV there. I remember one of our developers we employed, he was just passing in front of our office, and my boss was seeing off his friend, and the guy just came in and said, please, are you people looking for, I think he's a backend, what's John Paul's role again? Huh? I didn't get that.
Machine learning.
Machine learning, yeah. So he was just passing, and then he met with my boss, and my boss was like, "Okay, let me see your CV." And there on the spot, let me see your CV. On the spot, there, they took his CV and history. Is working with us, right? So I can't say it enough. Please go out there, look for these recruiters, knock at their doors, via LinkedIn, via jobs are working. Anyhow, just be intentional about this job search. And then another one here is prepare for the salary negotiation. You know, people of God, people that will say, I will collect anything you pay me. See, value yourself. Value yourself. I'll still talk extensively on this. And then preparing for your reference list. Now, um, this is where I speak to attitude. Now, I've come across some people in this industry where because they've gotten another multinational job, they jam the door, right? They jam the door. Who are you? Pay me naira, I'm getting a dollar job. And then the dollar job is now asking you for reference from your former employee or employer rather. They're asking for reference from someone who can vouch for you that I know enough that you're showing me all the things you have done in your portfolio. Yeah, we can see it. But want to speak to people who you worked with. And then you're coming to knock at a door of like mine, right? You don't expect me to now say he was a good boy. Yeah, I will tell you he's a good boy. He knows his work, but shall be ready because if I decide to leave you people, we wouldn't like that kind of feedback. So it is important that you I'm not saying you should stay in a workplace that doesn't value you, your worth, and all of that. But then again, whatever it is you're doing, remember that it may be called up one day. You might say, I will never need them. No problem, you're lucky. But it's also important to just keep good relationship with people who can vouch for you and say this person can actually do this work in a very good manner. And then last but not the least, maintain mental and physical well-being. Now, when you're searching for this job, you could be frustrated. Frustrated in the sense that there could be different levels of interview, like 4 or 5 interviews. You're like, what is it? Like kilo day. Give me the job you're giving me. What is it? I've been here 6. The same questions. I'm tired, right? So be very conscious about it. It happens. It can drain you. I'm saying this here, but it's not funny. I remember when I was looking for this job, That's how I've done interview. I was now doing interview, the last interview that I thought it was the last interview before another interview again. And then while it was virtual, I was still sitting and the person talking to me was doing other things. And I'm like, I was holding myself like, see, even me, I have other things to do, but this is 30 minutes. Just give me that 30 minutes, listen to me. And then when I've said something, the person will ask again, like, hey, what did you say? I'm like, see, if you listen, you would have, so it can be very mentally draining. So, but it's expected that you're very conscious about it and you help yourself. Stay positive, stay patient, go through the process, take your time, and everything will work out. And then there's also a place of, I don't know what you believe, right? And also believe in whatever it is you believe in God, but believe well and pray and know that it will close out very well. So, then this particular slide has taken all of our time. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. Okay, has it moved there? I'm moving here, but I'm not seeing it. Okay, so job application process. Remember that we have talked about it in the roadmap, but I want to talk extensively on certain things I've mentioned before. So while you see these jobs, you see the JD, you see it out there, they've posted it in every search engine, you've seen it. Study that job description very, very well. Now, studying it is helping you tailor your resume to speak to that job description. I've said it before about companies that use ATS. Now, it is important that when you study, it also helps you know whether what you place yourself on the level, like, okay, is this job, am I 50% ready to take up this job? Am I near 70? Am I 100? Am I at class this job? Will I be degrading myself even applying for this job? So you have to study the resume very, very well. So when you're talking about update using keywords. Now, when you are now putting in your resume, as I said, for those companies that use ATS, it's very important that you call out some of those things in the JD and put it into your resume so that once they put in the application, your CV can come up as one to be considered. And then emphasis on relevant experience can never be emphasized. You can't just I have seen CVs, maybe because of my role as HR and as a recruiter. I've seen very funny CVs. Now, I saw a CV of somebody who started work in 2001, and from the time he started at 2001, her role was head of business. Now, head of business in different businesses, head of the same things. As she just did photocopy, she copied, paste the same. She did that from 2001 to 2018 when I was now going to, I was available to her CV was available to me. She was doing the same. It was just a copy and paste, and then she would just remove the name of the company, copy and paste, and just like that. So when we're talking about emphasize relevant experience, you can't tell me that what you have learned in your first job as an intern is the same thing you're doing in your next job. There has to be something that you've acquired new. There's something that you have learned. Take for instance, now I can tell you, I learned something when it comes to managing people's appraisals. It's something new I learned. I didn't know it before. I'm learning it now. So it is something I'm exposed to now. So I should put it. It's a relevant experience by my next job. It can't be the same thing. So please, when you're structuring your resume, ensure that you're emphasizing a relevant experience, right? Then quantify your achievements. Don't mumble it up in your experience. If when you came, for instance, when you say you came to this organization, and when you came here, there wasn't anything about all their equipment and all their facilities here. Nothing. All the equipment they have here were not labeled. And then when you came, you said, no, these things have to be labeled to manage the number of things we have. There's a reason why you want to label it, and you're sending out your proposal around it and your justification that this thing needs to be done. And then when you did it, you're able to now manage inventory and all of those things. Now, if you go to your resume and you're emphasizing on that experience that you manage inventory and all of that, it's very important that you create a column to say quantifying your achievement. Before you came here, this was not done. You are a pace setter. That is what you should emphasize on. So it's very, very important that your CV should not just be just normal. Sell yourself. Is your CV. Some people don't ever make it to the first level of interview because their CV through the recruiters off. Customize your objective is also part of it. All that is not going to help you. Well, you bullet points things, that you're about to let us know. Rearrange the sessions. All of these things is what update your education. If you learn something on Coursera, Udemy, put it there. You can't tell me that you stay. It's advice. Let me even say it on this platform. It's advice that, and it's something we encourage here in the Bob. Every quarter, it's expected that you have learned something new, whether with certificate or without certificate, but you can talk through what you have learned. Your line manager can vouch for certain that, oh, this person has learned this. It is important that you learn something new. And as you learn it, update your education. It could be as little as your experience around project management or Scrum or whatever, Scrum Master. Just a small course you did, a 6-week course you did. And I'll just breeze through like, oh, she has an idea, even though she doesn't have a certification around it. And then we'll bring her on and then, get her to be under somebody who is experienced in that, and she can grow, or the person can grow. So it's important to update your education, and you have to be cautious about it because the industry you're getting into is continuous learning. That is the watchword. So I've just displayed here. It's not cast in stone, but this is something that looks like a CV, one page, not too much story, straight to the point, and I can see everything I want to see at a glance. So it's also important that your CV should. Then, if I want to hear more story, at the top there where you have IT support, then you can put all your links, all your available links. You can see there, and you should also make it hyperlinking in a way that I can actually get what I want, I can go there, just on clicking it. Don't make it difficult for the recruiter, because sometimes recruiters, we can be lazy, especially when we have a lot of people to look at, a lot of roles to close out, a lot of people to CVs to look at. Make life easier for the recruiter. So interview types in tech, all right? So I try to streamline these interview types to 3: behavioral, technical interviews, and then cultural fit interview. I've mentioned it before when I was talking about, how to make sure you pitch your pitch your achievements, right? So I mentioned it about how you have different people assessing at different levels. I've gone for an interview. I've been in an interview panel, and we're looking for a salesperson. Now, one of the interview panelists, her work is to assess what you are wearing, from your hair to your shoe. That's her work. Once you come in, she's like, this is a cheap jacket. And you're coming, you want to apply for a role of head of sales, and you're requesting for 1.5 million, and the shirt you're wearing is a local shirt, meaning that you just want to enrich yourself through, not as if it's a character you have always been in, right? So it's important that you look your words. At every level interview, you can never be sure of what the interviewer is looking out for. A lot of people have been in an interview where a guy was talking with so much power and strength, and it was a physical interview, and he was buffing us. Permit me to use that. I'm using buffing. I know what to say. He was buffing us with spittle. He was showering us with his spittle. And he's meant to be a sales role. So the guy is and I could feel the passion, but at the same time, if you're going to go and talk to a new client, is this how you're going to bait him with all of these things coming out from your mouth? That alone, he didn't get the job. So you can have the opportunity to have gone through the written stage of the job, but when it comes to interview, if whether virtual or whether physical, please be tidy. We're going to we're going to go step by step. So I'm going to go with behavioral. Now, sometimes unconsciously, right? We have a lot of mannerism. When I said I have, believe me, I've been in this industry of HR for close to 14 years. So when I use myself an example, I have interviewed the lower cadre, I've interviewed C-suites. So I'm telling you people's patterns. Now, I've been in an interview where we're recruiting someone who will lead a team, operations head, who will lead a team. The guy has his 10 fingers complete, but his last 2 fingers were long. He grew them. So while we were talking, we were interviewing him, he wanted to emphasize on something, and he used his long nail, and so he continued. It's something that he did unconsciously. So a lot of it, he didn't get the job. Let me just because I also have an interview. I've also conducted an interview. I ended up employing the person because, aside, the guy knew the technical part of the job, he understood it, well-grounded and all of those. So I also looked out for things I could correct. I knew this one is something I could correct. Now, while you're being interviewed, you're asked, so how much are you looking at? And the guy said 400K in an interview. 400K. I was like, K, like Nigerian money is in K. What would it stop you from saying 400,000 naira? Would anything have got out of your throat if you had said 400,000 naira? I said 400K. Now, if you think that whatever it is you do in your interview really not matter in real life, it does matter in real life, because in the real life, when we ended up employing him, he also had issue in communicating via mail. So, but it's something that we had to train him. We knew it was a gap, and he was quickly trained and closed out immediately because it didn't affect his technical. If it was something that had to do with technicality. Now, with that guy that was poking his nose, he did other things. I don't want to say here. He did other things, right? So, but when you're going for an interview, especially when it's Okay, let me start with physical. If it's physical interview, anytime I'm coming for a physical interview, any cloth in my wardrobe is never okay. I'm sorry, but I always feel no, this one don't wash. This one, whenever I wear it, I would, if I can afford a new one, fine. If I can't, I look for somebody who is my same faith. Especially my sister, we all have the same body size. So I quickly, please, I need something new, I need something sharp. I'm going for an interview and all that. I don't normally go to makeup artists to make me up. But if I'm going for an interview, I actually would have to go for them to make me up because I want to look the part. And I'm going for a role. You know, there's some roles that you can intern as an intern. We don't be leading a team. We want to see, when we see a leader, we see you, not assume you. We see you just from the word seeing you alone. We know that this person carries the charisma of a leader, carries what it takes to be a leader. Now, so don't assume that, you're being humble. No, you're going for an interview. You imagine my interview. Always tell yourself, see, I have many competitors there. People are going to come for this interview. What will I use in standing out? So be vigorous, be very, very, certain of what you want to do to stand out. Right? So from I can ask you questions that have to do with behavior, but I want to channel this particular thing to our mannerism to interviews. So when you're coming in, especially when it's physical interview, when you're coming in for the interview, it's also good to read up. Most of these things I'm sharing here, Google is your friend. Read up. What do you do? How do you go about assessing the interview, going for an interview? What kind of questions will be asked? How do I answer them? You have to see, if you're not intentional about things generally in life, you have to know what you're doing. You want to get this job. Well, you remember we said talking about how to, Theo taught us about how to save money, how to spend money, how to get the money. Now, I don't want you to lose the opportunity to get this money. That's why we're taking time to explain to you. A lot of you have been trained by us, and some of you have not hit the right job because you have not been very intentional about it. We're going for virtual interview. That is when you will now, because you're looking for network, you will now go near someone that has a poultry. They're asking you question. The background, we are here, cuckoo. Then in the background, you see, these things, you can never know the temperament of the person that's interviewing you. I've had somebody who I was told, I wasn't there, someone who was being interviewed by an Indian man. And the guy was speaking to the guy, the time difference. So the Indian man was sleepy, but you are still awake. He was feeling tired, he wanted to sleep, but he needed to do this interview. And you are still awake. That is where your phone will ring. Hello, guy, I didn't interview. The man said, the guy was making so much sense, but immediately he did that. He said, talk to you later. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I mean, you don't do that. Your phone is ringing while the interview is going on. What will happen to that phone? Can't it wait? Can't it be on silent so that you can just conclude this interview and be away already? As I said, this behavioral part of the interview, it speaks to the interview question that has to do with behavior. But I want to coin it on mannerism. So even if you read up, what I'm saying now might not be what you see in behavioral as behavioral interview, because here behavioral interview is asking some questions around behavior to get that kind of person you are. But I want to coin this one as mannerism. Things you don't do virtually, physically. And try always be on time. When you're going to go for an interview, try to be on time. Be there before time. Prepare yourself, be at rest, be comfortable, and then speak intelligently. As much as possible, rehearse. Read up questions, possible questions they can ask me in an interview. Read it up. When you come to technical interview, now I have my guys who do this ones, and they will always put them in, they will do short tests for them. So if your network is not sharp, I mean, get enough, look for places where you can. We in the Bob here, we have workspace. A lot of people come here to just sit in for their interview. You said the person don't get sense. He's paying 4,000 to come and just sit in for. Yeah, but the person wants an environment that is peaceful. There's no wahala. Our internet is sharp. You won't be sweating and be hearing kukuruku at your background. The lights are sharp. I mean, if you even tell us that you're doing interview, we'll give you a dedicated desk where you can sit and know that they know you're ready for this job. We're talking about you being ready for the job. So it's not enough for you to just say, I've heard it before, Jerry, not today. See, the difference between you and the person that's gotten that big job is the person being intentional. Then I talk about cultural fit interview. Now, there are certain questions that can be asked. They can be asked to you as a job seeker. I love to ask cultural fit interview questions. I enjoy it because I see beyond. I want to hear you. I want to know you beyond this, your knowledge about coding and programming and all of those jargons, that you people say. I want to know you, to know, because there are certain people who have temperament issues, right? And the moment you ask them questions, it shows. Now, when I'm giving my feedback, I say, however, I'm telling your line manager, this person can be good in this, but be watchful on this character. It will take up to 2 weeks. The line manager will come and say, Lillian, that thing he said, you don't show. So you are now going to weigh it whether you are ready to tolerate what the person is doing to what the person is bringing on the table. But it's very, very important that you read up on questions around cultural fit. Don't think they won't ask it. Don't think it's not relevant. It's very relevant. Nobody wants to employ a liability, somebody who doesn't like working with team. I met the person, I didn't interview the person. I've had somebody who is in marketing, right? The person is meant to be in content, a content person, and she doesn't like coming to the office. And what's her reason? I don't like interacting with people. And I'm like, you don't like interacting with people, and you're in the social media world where you write content. Where do you get the content you are putting in? You just browse the content, or you don't talk to people, you don't interact, you don't want to be around people. And guess what? Just like a flat tire, your bad attitude will take you nowhere. It took her nowhere because it was called out. We couldn't keep her here anymore. You can't be in that space and you tell me you don't like interacting with people. How? Well, then why are you in this space? So it is important that if you also have that bad character, start working on yourself now. It's not impossible. Work on yourself. If you have bad character of cutting people off when you're told to do a task, you want to do asabito, you don't want to share your idea, you don't want to, if I tell them, they will know it, and when they know it, they will not need me in the job. Hello, we always need you in the job. Share your knowledge, share what you know. That's how you grow. Right? So if you also have some certain things, that this my character is also bad, try to stop them so that when you are coming to a job, you eventually get your job. Your bad character will not keep you away from that job. Right? So it is important to take note of this. Okay, so so just excuse me. So acing that technical interview. So we try to think some on how to prepare. Tips on coding challenges. These are things that if a company who really want to get you to know if you really know what you're doing, these are set of kind of things they can present to you, right? So we said understand the problem when they set it to you. Sometimes it's set online, right? So understand the problem, test cases, choose a language, familiarize yourself with the company's tech stack, and study the job description, right? So I've said that before. So during the interview, now you're talking about the interview, communicate thought process, don't, and then a lot of this as in try, it's not easy. Even as I am, I still have that thing, but try as much as possible not to cloud your conversation with all of those things. And if you're not certain, you're not sure of your questions, please ask questions so that you won't be answering a question. It has happened before, asking someone a question, the person is answering something else, and eventually when we told her that it's like you don't understand what the question. She even got it more than we imagined. So it's very good to ask questions, especially when you. And then when you're answering the question, look at the people that asked you the question. It will really tell whether you're making sense. And then you can also retrace yourself and say, the way I'm answering the question is not the way I meant to. You quickly, get yourself back. So also while you're answering the question, look at people that ask you questions. So write clean and readable code, discuss trade-offs. So popular platforms for problem-solving practice, it's all there. You can lay your hands on them, practice before you are exposed to such during any interview. So our next slide here, on behavioral interview. And I mentioned that at first I told you that I wanted to do a mannerism, but then again, it's also important that you know when these questions are asked to you, how to answer. And it's been tagged star, situation, tags, action, and result. Go to the next one. So when you're asked a question, you don't go around and speak and make the interviewer lose track of what you're saying. So once this question is asked, be specific and make sure that what you're putting forward is relevant. You're not putting a lot of jargons, and then you're going straight to what kind of task you have done. If you're going to be talking about real life situations, you're saying when you came on board, this was what you're putting in numbers, figures on what you have done, and the percentage difference and all of those things. Those should be coming out from here. And then what was the conclusion? How did it end? Is interesting to always know the end of the story. Excuse me, please. Just a second. Apologies for that break. So we'll just share a sample of what a real life situation is. So for instance, you ask a question, can you describe a time when you had to solve a complex technical problem with limited resources? Now, this is the question asked. Remember when we said situation, be specific, go straight to the point. Don't start saying in 1924, actually on the 14th of February, 1924, in the morning, around that morning, and it's as if it was raining. No, save all this narration. That's not what we want. Yeah, that's not what we want to see. So the situation is like I was working on a critical software project with a tight deadline. During testing, we discovered a major bug causing the application to crash under certain conditions. Now, you've gone straight to the point. You're specific. This is something you did, something that happened. You want to discuss it. Now, the task. My task was to identify the root cause of the bug and implement a solution before the project's launch. You have said what's your part in the whole thing that happened, right? Now, action. I started by reviewing the code base and debugging the affected areas. I also consulted with my team members. Oh, work together. Oh, yes, it's coming up, right? So without this one, I'll know that you're a team player, right? Okay, to gather more information. After several hours of analysis, I realized that the issue was caused by a memory leak in a specific function. I carefully traced the memory usage and identified the lines of code that were causing the problem. Now, results. I implemented a fix to prevent the memory leak and successfully resolved the bug. The application was able to run smoothly and without any crashes, and we were able to meet the project deadline. Now you have fixed the problem. You have fixed it. It's not like you are talking. So after now went to meet the finance manager. Finance and that's okay. There's no money yet. So when the finance manager brought money, so the finance manager now took. They told so the other man, she go straight to the point. We want to see what happened. We want to see how you did it, and then the result. And we always want to see somebody who is forward thinking. You didn't just resolve it for today. You resolved it so that it will not come up again. You successfully resolved the bug. You didn't close it and lie. I said, oh, let's just close this one and just quickly launch after we'll go back. No, we want to see someone who is forward thinking. So your narration should always be a proactive person as much as possible. If you can state that. And then because the question said it came to you, it discovered something that just happened. I also expect that you would have, you're resolving it. You have made sure that you have closed out on any possible anything that can happen again. You closed out on that. You can also talk to us about that. Okay, so that's a sample of what the way to answer a question in a star manner. That's it. Okay. Follow-up and negotiation. I was talking about this one when we were talking about the roadmap, and I said I was going to come back to it because I needed to dedicate some time around that particular one. So please let me go to the next slide. So follow up and negotiation. So I'll first of all go on follow up. So lots of times, we are HR, we are guilty for most times. And you know HR work, there are some people that stumbled into HR work. They stumble into this because, oh, we are looking for someone who can do this, and then now the person seems quiet, and I put the person there. So they may not really know the professional line to being an HR person. So sometimes when you apply for a job and then the job doesn't come your way, or we have considered another person, it's very important to send a mail to the person telling the person, sorry, we have considered another person, we can't go further, right? For someone like me, this is me now, this is my personal person, me. If I'm recruiting for an entry-level role and the CVs I receive are from freshers, people who have not done any job before, I always would write back and tell you, look for an unpaid internship and do. Your CV is too bare. The only thing on your CV is when you did your NYSC, right? It's too bare. Even the NYSC, you called yourself a copper. You refuse to leave your khaki and learn. Because if you learned, you will write more than what you have written. Because I understand where you're working, where you served. So I expect you to have, tried to go to different departments and learn something, enrich your CV with things that are truthful, things that you have done. So I would write back and tell you, look for a paid internship. I had a girl who was an accountant. She had a 2-1 in one of these technical schools. But she studied, I can't remember. She studied accounting. How about technical? I can't remember. She studied accounting. She came okay. She had an upper degree, right? How do they call it in ND? Upper class. How do they call it? Oh, there's a way they call it now. HND. Okay. If you have wait, I must know it today. Today I must remember it. Just wait. So in BSc it has 2122, and someone in the audience to help me now. It's not easy. I can't remember everything. Then if your 22 in HND is lower class also, and then upper class. How is it? The way the technology how is said. Today, I must remember it. So we're not moving. We must know it today. Help me if you are. We are stuck here together. I must remember that upper credit. God bless. Who gave us that upper credit? Eniola, my darling. Thank you so much. Upper credit, yes. So she had an upper credit, and she had she was an accountant, and then we were looking to fill the role of a salesperson for AXA Mansard Insurance at the time, and she looked very timid. And I told her, I said, why do you want to take this job? She not said that she has applied and all that. I said, where do you live? She said she stayed at Pangrove. And I said, okay. How much do you save in a month? Or how much do you see? Like, do you have access to people that can sponsor you? She said, well, she has some of her church members that have told her that if she wants to go for an interview, she can ask them for transport money. I said, okay, why don't you write to auditors, accounting firms that are within Ikorodu Road. Don't go beyond Ikorodu Road. Write to them. Tell them you want to work for free. Tell them you want to work for free. She now said, just tell them you want to work for free. Just do it. She said, okay, will they allow me? I said, no. You're a graduate, right? She said, yes. And I even told her, you have a boyfriend, Abby. She now said, what? I said, calm down. Don't you have somebody you talk to that talking to you? She now said, yes. I said, are you shy talking to him? I said, no. I said, don't be shy. Then walk into any company and tell them you want to work for free. Cut the long story short, she actually did. She got a place where she was working for free. I interviewed her when I was in my former company, and we were in Pangrove at the time. So when I left from there, with the same company, but I left to our branch in Ikeja. She came back to Pangrove because she now got a job that they needed to go audit somebody's office in that Pangrove estate. She said she needed to come and see the woman who introduced her to the world of working for free. So she came and I told her I'm now in the Ikeja branch. And she now said she wanted to get my number, and called Lotto. She called me. She said that she went to work for free. She actually applied to work for free. just 2 weeks into it, because she came there and they're like, okay, we even need someone who can be sending message, photocopy, do this one. With all pleasure, he got in there. And 2 weeks into it, the junior accountant got a job and left. So quickly they said, I put her, but she's looking for free and give her some money. That's how this, giving her some money started. And in the company, once you come in as a junior accountant, in 3 years, you'll be given 3 years to have your ICANN. And she had the support of, in fact, she said she didn't go to lesson because everybody around her was giving her reading time. So she had somebody who would teach her on Saturday, someone would teach her on Sunday, someone would teach her, so she had support. And she's now a chartered accountant. She was coming to tell she's now a chartered accountant, all because she worked for free. In 2 weeks, she became a paid intern, a junior accountant, paid. It may not be your story. It may not be another person's story, right? I can use myself. I worked in a company for 2 years. I got married and I didn't give birth to after 4 years. So I worked in a company for 2 years. And when I left to go and give birth, I wanted to get back into the workforce. I wanted to apply for another job, but I needed a job that is not far from my house. So I got a job. I got the job I was working in. And then when I got there, when they saw my CV, like, you overqualified, I want to come out for an internship. I said, I just want to go back into the workforce. And they took me. Cut the long story short, I left that company as a head of outsourcing. So I came in there on, I was paid peanut, but because I wanted to go back to the workforce. So what I'm saying in essence is, you can actually start free and end up big. What's important is that you're going to learn. And that is what is important. Then when you're talking about negotiating your salary and benefit, if you don't price yourself well, if you don't, see, be realistic. I've had somebody who finished NYSC here, and the person knew that we needed her we needed her to fill in at the junior level of that particular department. And she said she wanted 400,000. I told her, look again, look around you. 400,000. Ask yourself the question. 400. She said, you can negotiate now. It's not casting stone. You can tell me, okay, how much do you want to pay me? And I was pissed off. So please don't lose the opportunity where you are given opportunity to negotiate. Look at the industry level. Look at where you're going. So if you're going to be negotiating for an IT support person in the banking industry, look at what IT support in the banking industry earn. What is the average? Know what you're coming in at and know what you can place yourself. Now, if you go there and say, I will take whatever you put, what's the price of the company available? See, don't price yourself short. The worst that can happen, they say we can't pay you, right? It's open for negotiation. But don't price yourself too cheap. Why I'm saying this, I'm emphasizing it. Some people will come into a company and price yourself cheap. When you now come in and see that the junior there is earning more than you, you will be disgruntled. But this is what I advise against. I tell HR, be truthful. If you know this person is worth this amount of, this is what you have budgeted, this is the budget for this role. Try as much as possible to be in that corridor. Don't take anybody for Don't take advantage of anybody who is hungry to get into a particular industry, and then you take advantage of a person and say, oh, this person is coming from this industry and coming to this industry, and the person doesn't know how much they are paying here. And the person tells you, okay, I want to give me 100,000, and you accept and bring the person in. When the person comes in, forgetting that the person will interact with the people there and find out that even the cleaner doesn't collect 100,000, but the person priced himself or herself that cheap. You think you have gotten a cheap offer. You've gotten a disgruntled staff in the making. So, but then again, you have to help yourself. Do your homework, research. If possible, go on LinkedIn. People who have worked in that company, I didn't say people who are working. People who have worked in that company, you can ask questions on what is it like. I want to know, what's the price? What's it available? What's available there? So when you're pitching your amount, you're pitching right. And don't do all this anything. See, don't do all of those things. It doesn't work again. Don't do your homework and be professional and respectful about it. There are some people that will be like, they're asking them, what do you said? I can't take $1 million or nothing. And they'll not cross their leg when I tell you $1 million or nothing. Even if your skill, your competence is what is going to keep this company running, I will personally not employ you. You have a bad attitude. I'm talking about attitude again. It's coming up again. Maybe because a bad attitude irritates me. So be respectful on how you want to pitch the amount of money you think you're worth. Be respectful about it. Okay. Please, time moderator, let me know when I'm spending people's data. I don't want to waste people's time, and I don't want them to say too much on data. spend too much on data. Yeah. So career sustainability. Yeah. Just a minute. I just want to. Okay. So the next slide. So here, just a minute. So here we're talking about career sustainability in the tech industry. And I've mentioned here before. Oh, sorry. I've mentioned here before that if you're going to survive in this industry, you have to keep learning. You have to keep learning. What is happening, what is trending, you have to keep learning. And the career path is wonderful. You can start as an entry level and go as high as an executive level. Now, in the entry level, you get to see roles like internship, junior developers, technical support specialists, data analysts, systems administrator, IT support technician. In the mid-level, you can have DevOps engineer, web developer, network engineer. In the senior level, you can have, as a name, senior software developer. You can have project manager. In the managerial level, you can have IT manager, engineering manager. In the executive level, you can have CTO and all that. So but you cannot be in those levels when you don't have anything. There's nothing. See where I'm touching see. There's nothing here, this place. Allow me to use borrow for my Yoruba sisters. Kosi Konibi, nothing is here. You have to read certifications. You keep studying. You can't be tired. The difference between you, who is an entry level today in any industry, be it accountants, HR, tech, the difference between you and that your friend who you meet 3-4 years later that is now CTO of a company is his ability to keep evolving, reading, certifications. Don't be tired. Don't be lazy. Don't be guilty. This tech skills, they come out for hand. It gets outdated. Today, now, we're not talking about, a lot of people lost their jobs now in Amazon, in what's the other one that has to do with electric cars? Tesla, right? A lot of people lost it because it's not like as if they are not good. If they go take their skill, they can't get a job in another place. But at the moment in those companies, the companies have evolved. They have moved, they have advanced. And if you're not fitting in, see, I tell people anytime I have to induct any new person, as you're coming here, as you come into a new company, plan your exit. See, you're coming in as a 2-year-old brand. When you're leaving, ensure that you have enriched that brand in a way that anywhere you go to, you are a better brand. Don't get stuck with old knowledge. When I was in school, I was taught this. Most of the things I was taught in school, in fact, as I said, my background is business administration. It took a professor, Professor Banjoko, who came to the class and was teaching us about interview. We're talking about recruitment, selection, and all that. And he got to recruitment interviews. The way he explained it, how you will sit, you cross your leg with a lady, you close your leg with a man, you make sure you're not going there, and that's when you want to start adjusting your trousers. I was lost. And he said, for every of these things, if you are a certified person in them, you are valued in the market. And immediately while I was doing my service, I started doing my ACIPM. I finished my service in April. I got my ACIPM in February. Because I wanted to come out as a professional. He sparked the urge for HR in me. Now, if you're going to move through these ranks, you keep learning. That is how you can sustain in this industry. You have to keep learning. So, well, pardon me, we're almost coming to the end. Please just hang in there. We're almost coming to the end. Resources for job seekers. So where you can go to, the website you can go to. And when I talked about online learning, it mustn't be the one that you can start the journey, right? On Coursera, on Udemy, Udacity, all of this LinkedIn Learning, all of these are very interesting, places to learn, be dedicated about it. What you learn today, nobody can take that from just your head. When you learn, nobody can take that from you. And when you learn, you try and put it into practice. And even for sometimes, I used to tell my people here that if you learn something new, let your line manager know that, see, while I'm here, I learned this, and I think we can do it. We can apply it in this our work. It shows relevance. And then tomorrow, when you're updating your CV, won't you proudly tell yourself that you have done this? You would. So it's important that you keep learning, don't stop learning. And where you want to search for a job, this is just limited. There are other places. You people now, if are trendy, especially that you're Gen Zs now, you know where to find these jobs. This is just take that. An old HR is just telling you where you can go to. So be modern, browse up new places to apply for these jobs. Okay. So at this point, I would seek for questions. Any questions whatsoever? If it's beyond tech job, I'm also, okay, I didn't introduce myself very well. I must say counselor. Oh my God, don't mind me. But no, mind me, I'm a counselor as well. So if you got questions that are beyond here, you want to ask, feel free. If you still want to ask questions around the things I've said, I would give some time for this to happen. Type it in our chat box there. We have our ready colleague here who is going to read out the questions to me. I'm trying to manage a lot of things here. If only you can see the back end of where you will laugh. Oh my God, a lot of things happening. I have a lot of people here. Don't mind these two eyes I see. A lot of my fans that don't want me to make mistake or go wrong. They're here. Shout out to Faisal. Hello, Faisal. Thank you. Shout out to Steven. Shout out to you, Daval. I love you, girl. Thank you for not making me disgrace you. Thank you. All right. Shout out to Blessing, the love of my life. Thank you so much. Thank you all for the input. I love you all. Thank you. So do I have any questions? And I believe that if you don't have any questions, I'm free to ask, right? I'm free to ask questions, right? So who is the most attentive? I think Eniola is the most attentive. So Eniola, where does Eniola see herself in another 1 month? If you're working currently, you tell me where you're working. If you're not, where do you wish to be? Which industry, which firm is your dream firm? Let me tell you whether it's a good choice. Can you share that with us? Just if you're working, no problem. But if you're not, just share with us, I can tell you for free where I want to work when I leave here.
So she said, yes, I'm a credit management. I am a credit management analyst.
Okay.
In quotes. Credit recovery analyst, but wanted to change to a product designer.
Okay.
But how do I tailor my CV to? I think she's asking a question. How do I tailor my CV towards this?
You're presently in a fellow.
I don't think she's.
Yeah. Okay, so we give sort products. We have sort products.
But she said, how can she tailor her CV towards that? No, she's a credit management analyst.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to change to product designer. I just be a product designer. So she said, how can she tailor her CV towards that?
Okay, so Eniola, I hear your question. And firstly, if you're not a fellow in the Bob, if you're not taking a training from us, then it's important that you do. Now, some of these platforms that we shared earlier, you can actually find free online courses there to train, right? But the difference between them and here is that we are practical. You would actually do something. You would almost feel that you're reporting to a boss.
Okay, isn't a man Not
Oh.
a she.
Oh,
Wow.
so I'm very, see, you're the one that caused this. It's only the one that caused
You just
this.
said-
Sir, I'm sorry, sir. Apologies. Apologies, please. So, as I said earlier, if you're not training with us, you need to, even if I know that on Coursera, you can, and LinkedIn Learning, you can see something on product development.
Product
Design. Yeah, you can see some, but it is very important you go to proper classroom training and where you be taught hands-on. Like you're going, we pride ourselves, right? Our students hit the jackpot once they leave here because you're going to do your project to be around something that can be displayed. It's not just you coming to read, yeah. So if you think you can, I don't do well with, I tried it, it has not worked. I think I'm still very old school. I don't do well with online learning. I do very well with classroom learning. So if you can do online learning, fine, good. But classroom learning, try the Bob. We will give you what you want and get you ready. So when you're telling yourself, you're linking your competence around credits and then product design. Now, that job you're doing is a product, right? And you're going to be explaining when you're moving. You said the thing about you, I think credit recovery, right? Recovery, credit management and recovery. So you are going to issue the credit and also manage the recovery of it. If I'm not wrong, if I'm not mistaken, that is what you do. So you're going to sell it to somebody, right? You're going to sell that credit, taking up credit to somebody, and that is a product. So you're taking a step ahead. You're taking it a step ahead. So there's a link. You can actually link it. When you come to what you're learning, you pick out what you're doing right now and put it into the learning. There's a way, I don't know how to put it. It's almost as if I want to turn jollof rice with tomatoes. You can mix it. You can actually mix it. Yes, you can. You can. What you are doing, you're selling a brand. You're selling credit opportunity to somebody who is seeking for it. And that is product. So when you are learning, what you're going to also learn in product management in the Bob is how to now manage people's products and how to manage products, put it out there, sell it to people virtually. So you can actually link it. Certifications. It's very important. I can be man or woman. I don't want to make man. I don't make a mistake. Sir.
So my question is regards to as fellows,
Okay.
like that we don't really have, they don't have internship experience yet.
Okay.
So how do we navigate working for free, possibly as an intern, to get knowledge, and how do we value ourselves with salary negotiation?
Okay, so as it stands now, if you're a fellow, once you're done study, the good thing about this tech job, there's a huge competition between smaller companies and bigger companies. So the smaller companies, they are there, they're very innovative, they are on the spot, ready for give me what you have. Then the bigger companies provide stability, right? When you're there, right? So you can actually look out for, there's thousands, more than 1,000 startup companies, a lot of them. So telling them that you're writing to them, sending them mails, see this LinkedIn thing there. If old school like me can tell you LinkedIn is power, please take it from me. Go on this LinkedIn. I had a brother who he studied geophymatics rather, something geophymatics, and he needed advice on where to specialize. So it was on LinkedIn. He met somebody. The person told him, I told him, what do you have? What knowledge do you have? He told the person, I said, we need a junior staff. And that's how he got it. So click that button, go there, be live, leave that TikTok, leave all of those things. Be there, interact with people, ask for knowledge, mentorship, ask for it. You can actually get. And then when you talk about pricing yourself, you price yourself. See, if the knowledge I have now, I did not have it when I was working in my first workplace. So naturally, I know that I can't demand for the kind of money I'm demanding now in that place. I wouldn't have demanded it because I know that when it comes to scale of things, I don't have enough of it. And because if I go to a company I want to learn from, right? I want to learn from. I would not wait to price myself too high and then chase my opportunity away from the door. I can. That's why I said, see, this LinkedIn part is very important. You can actually meet somebody who will sincerely tell you the truth on, see, if you're coming into this industry, you're coming as a junior programmer. Now, this particular role, in this particular company, this particular industry, this is the minimum they take. Remember, you just learned, you just acquired knowledge in the bulb. You are trying to fix yourself into real life, an organization to take you. Don't chase them away with you are being pricey. Once you have learned, this is the kind of knowledge you will have. You start having bragging rights. There's a kind of knowledge you will have. You start, they will do the remake for you. And you will know it. You will know that you have gotten there. So as I said, meeting up with people. See, there's this network, there's this thing that we did recently. I'm like, what's that people went for? With Dami. Dami spoke there.
Yes. The tech event.
A tech event. So you can imagine meeting with a lot of tech people there, and then you're just asking someone, so like, how much do they pay here? You have asked question now. So it cannot be seen. Many things cannot be seen in Google. Interact, network. You can actually know how to price yourself. When you meet with the people, your peers, mentors, they will tell you. People that want to be truthful, they will tell you on how to go about it, navigate, especially when it comes to pricing. But let that, if you are a startup, you are just starting in your career in tech, let pricing not be the first thing in your head. The money will come. Trust me, it will come. Just be ready to stay awake in the night. The money will come. Be hell-bent on learning. Learn first. Acquire knowledge. There's a knowledge that even the Bob has not given you yet. The people in the field will tell you the shortcut. The Bob will want to teach you the long cut. But when you get to get mentorship for some certain people, that way they do long narration, they will just show you shortcut to go do them. So you have to, don't be after money now. You're just starting. Don't be after money. I know you should have money, and the rubber will come. Just learn, intern and learn. I hope I answered your question, sir.
Oh, no, my name is Vivian.
Okay,
So
Vivian.
I'm presently an entry-level UI UX product designer.
Okay.
I have tailored my portfolio, CV, and cover letter to fit this role. How do I get internship roles?
I think I've said something similar. Now, this is your skill. This is what you want to do, right? This is what you want to. You can. This is your cover letter and your CV and everything. Just keep. Update your LinkedIn page, right? Update it, stating categorically there that this is what you're competent in, because some people search with the role they want to look for. So put it there, put it up there. That is what, and then you have a lot of people who have done all of those things before. I've said it here. Try and reach out. Reach out to them. Let them be your mentors. Any tech event, attend. If you don't have transport money, borrow. They are worth it. That money you use and go and buy new hair or go and buy new shoe, they are worth it. Take out for tech events and attend, even though it's paid one or free one. Look out. You will meet. See, this industry lives and dies on mentorship, both reverse mentorship and straight line mentorship. It lives and. Now, I was talking about you should have looked out for another. And so, met me earlier in life before Professor Banjoko, I would have taken up business strategy. I don't know. But then again, what you are learning, what you have as a skill, you can see somebody who will tell you, oh, I started like this, but this is what is trendy, this is what is relevant in the market, go this way, go that way. So it's important. This role, this tech market lives and dies on mentorship, on interaction, on networking. That is the only way you can know what is available, what is trendy, what is the way forward. There are people that have been there, they've done it. So you just need to, fly on their wings, and it's faster.
So, how do you deal with recruiters that fix interview and never show up in the online interview meeting? Even after sending a reminder to some of them on WhatsApp few minutes to the interview.
It's sad. It's very sad. No, it's very sad. Even for this presentation, I told her I don't like keeping people waiting. If 10 is 10, 10 is 10. And guess what? I learned it the hard way. So I worked in a place where I really interviewed very low cadre people. I interviewed junior level DSA. I interviewed drivers, security guards. So they're looking for a job. I can actually keep them there and then do one or two other things, send reports, and then come back and meet them. So it happened that one of them, our MD was also / a pastor then. So in his congregation, he had somebody who knew somebody that needed a job. And then he asked, okay, do you know what? Tell the person to come to the company, meet with Lillian, and then let Lillian assess him. If it's okay, you can get him a security guard job. So the person came. I know the person didn't tell me that I'm coming from this person. They came and starting. And the guy immediately chatted the person, that knew my Oga then and said, sir, I've been here for the past 2 hours. Nobody has reached out to us. We are many in this classroom. And then the person I called our MD then and said, this is how people do. You keep people 2 hours. This guy drives keke, and he at least he would have just done the interview and gone to continue his keke, his driving and all that. And MD, he didn't call. He came to see with himself. And then when he came to the classroom, seeing young guys and young ladies sitting down. I was overwhelmed because I was the only person also trying to do payroll, and I was doing payroll period. I was trying to send out payroll so that people would be paid salary. And when he came, I got up, greeted him. I was screamed at, I was shouted at, and I tried explaining that I was trying to prepare payroll that this company just sent me. They had sent me the list of the staff who worked, and they sent it by hours, and I needed to prorate all the salary for sending to finance. I had a lot I was doing, and I'm looking about 300 and something staff, factory workers. I was trying to explain, I'm the only one doing. I'm also going to set. He said, why, if you knew you were going to do payroll, why did you fix these dates? I said, I thought I could finish. You thought what? So as I said, some of us stumbled into HR. We really don't know the professional part. So apologies on behalf of my learned colleagues. Apologies. It is wrong, absolutely wrong. If you tell somebody 10 is 10, I don't like people wasting my own time either. 10 is 10. If you can come online and tell the person, please, could you wait? We're waiting on the other panelists, please. And each interval, 5 minutes, please, we're still on. You can log out and then come back in. We'll change the time or something. Interact with people, give people updates. I even have my people are witnesses here. I'll tell them, once you interview somebody and you're not continuing the person, tell the person, thank you for reaching out. It takes a lot for people to come to want to apply to work in your company. It's important. Apologies. It's very, very wrong. It's unprofessional. It's very unprofessional because they've just debranded that company. Even if that company is gold tomorrow, I wouldn't want to apply or suggest anyone to apply there. I'll tell them, if they can waste my time, they don't know. People who work there, I'm sure they don't even care about our careers. They will waste your time, waste your future there. So it's a very bad signal. It's a very bad practice. Apologies is wrong, highly wrong.
So finally, because I told you that we're not placing any questions again. So Edola is the one asking question again. Saying, how do I tailor my LinkedIn profile to product design role? Because she said she actually applied to be a fellow at the Bob.
Okay.
So that's for September course. She said, and she can't wait to get her first job as a tech guy. As you said that, he's a EO. She's a EO. She can't wait to get this tech job as a tech guy, and also wants to know the importance of signing up for premium services on LinkedIn in terms of job search.
So if you sign up on the premium, sometimes when you want to chat with, if you see somebody wants to be a mentor or something like that, you want the person to be a mentor. If you try to buzz the person, you can't send message. So when he's on premium, you can send message. The person will actually receive it. You can send message, send your CV, send your love story. I remember when I sent a love story to a lady. I went for CIPM conference and I met with her. The way she spoke, oh my God, I was like, Lillian, Elena, see my senior, pardon me the way I used to call it, see my senior colleague, I need to meet with her. I did premium, I beg you. And I follow her as well. She's been an inspiration. When I see the things, well, in fact, she told me, Lillian, what's your side hustle? I said, side hustle. My side hustle is being a mom. He said, no, Lillian, the different exposures you've had in HR, you can actually pick each of them and be your side hustle. And she was one that made me, I reach out to people to say, I do interviews, or I can do interviews for you. I'm a recruiter, or whatever it is that can be a side hustle for me. Yeah, I'm working here. Yes, I try not to mix my time with my own professional side hustle. And then in having to sit in for interviews, I do that, but not when I'm coming to work. Right. I know she introduced me to that world, and it's not something I ever thought I would ever do. I thought maybe my 9 to 5, I'll just do my work and go. And then she said, what do you do your weekends? I said, I do my mom work. I said, in the midst of it, you can also earn 1 or 2 nairas at the side. So When you do premium, you can actually access direct chats to these persons. And in fact, if I have someone who direct chat, the person chatted me and hit my space, I know the person is serious. I take the person very seriously. I hold the person by the hand as much as possible. Some of them expect that because my LinkedIn profile will say this or this about me, you think once you see me, I'll give you the job. I don't have the job readily, but I know I can counsel you into getting that big job you desire. So some of them, they don't continue, but some I still have, with me. So that's it. The premium just allows you. It costs some money. I'm telling you what I did. I did 1 month. After the tryout, I did 1 month. I know the person. I'm telling you what I did though. Don't go and do 1 year and you say I have not still hit the million job. No, the idea is not to hit the million job, but hand holding and flying on their wings is what you're targeting. And who says you can't get that million job from that action, intentionally. Yeah. Okay, sorry. I'm very cautious about your data. I know that we said we're not going to take more than 2 hours. And I mean, take it from when we started 11 and all the breaks and all of those, I really do not want to take more than your 2 hours, because I know you spend a lot of money on data, and then your time is very important. So we're going to call it short here. But trust me, in the Bob, we are very cautious, and we know that we can't just teach you without holding your hands. And that's what we're doing. We're going to keep on, and aside this time, we're going to keep on holding hands privately as you reach out. So don't just wait for the perfect job to fall into your lap. Take charge of your career journey. Be actively seeking opportunities, continuously developing your skills and leveraging the resources available. You'll be well prepared to land your dream job and achieve your professional goals. That's our prayer. That's our wish from all of us and all my fans who are working behind the scene. Thank you so much.